Hi everybody, it's me again, Charles Norman for Sports Solutions LLC. We are the creators of AthleticSOS. It is a software that if you are trying to get your student athlete an athletic scholarship, we're the first place you should start. We take your academic information, the sports you play, the level you can participate, and we show you all of your options and opportunities, and we do it at no cost. The way we get paid is we have some great offers that are coming up. I've made some great deals lately. If you like something in there, go ahead and purchase from us. It helps us out, and then we go from there. And also, we have some people now that are actually just sponsoring us in general. And so you'll start to see some sponsors in there, but we're very, very careful on who we vet. But the idea is not so much that you get the athletic scholarship. I mean, that's a goal. But our software actually works for kids that are just playing high school sports that will not play at the collegiate level. And we still let them use our software, and they find colleges and trade schools and other options for them too. So our overall goal is to get this in the hands of every single high school athlete. We're starting in the U.S., but now we have 2 other countries that are starting to use our software. So we're growing pretty fast, and I'm really, really excited about it. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about, should you trade high schools? Should you change high schools? This is coming up. And the reason I'm bringing it up this week is because there's some kids in our neighborhood, in my neighborhood where I live, that everybody in there that plays high school sports uses our software. My kids have told everybody about it. They're past high school, but people kind of know our family and they know we have the software now. And so they all use it, obviously at no cost. And I give them a few extra perks with it. But one of the families there, the parents came down and talked to me last week. And so what they talked to me about was both of their kids, one of the kids is going into his sophomore year, and then their youngest son is going to be a freshman this year. Now, the kid that was sophomore for basketball, he played JV, but he got pulled up to varsity at the end of the year, and he will probably play varsity this year. And he's grown a few inches, and he's really worked on his game this summer. And so the other son is already taller than the older son, and he just loves, he's overkill on it. Even we try to tell him, okay, calm down a little bit. But, you know, I think being the youngest, you just get more excited. You see what your brother did previous year, and so he's really into it too. The other thing is that the mom was a really big time volleyball player in college. She has them playing volleyball. And so they were coming because a couple of reasons. They were wondering if they should switch to the other local high school that we have to participate instead of staying where they are, because they think the playing opportunities would be better over there. But that should not be a reason to leave, right? All your friends are at your current high school, especially for the older son. And so we were sitting down, we were talking about it. I don't judge. I don't know everyone's story or why they're doing what they're doing. So I'm just trying to give them some, not advice, but just listen and some feedback is mostly what I want to give. So the first question I asked is, why did they want to move over? And it looks like the older son played on a travel club team that some of the members came from the other high school in our area. And so they were saying, hey, you know, if you come over here, you could be on varsity. You'll probably get a chance to start as a sophomore. And that's intriguing to him, right? That'd be a great thing for him. But I said, well, you're going to make varsity most likely at the current school. Why wouldn't you just stay there? And so the parents were saying that this summer, the high school coach, the head coach, didn't have a program for the kids from varsity to play this year. And I said, are you guys absolutely sure, or were you just not invited? Because it seems kind of unlikely to me that a high school coach wouldn't have something going on for his kids. I go, well, did they do weightlifting? Was anything going on? Did you talk to the coach from the current high school? And they said, no, we never really got a chance to talk to them. I don't know them. I'm just trying to fill it out. I'm just going based on what my kids are telling me, because the dad's really, really busy and the mom's really, really busy. You know, they work. So they haven't made that outreach. I said, well, that would be my first stage, is to find out. I know it's already midsummer and most of that stuff's over with. There's not a lot you could do, but they did play travel and club and they did very well. So they're going to get some looks anyway. But at least talk to the head coach and find out what they're thinking, what's going on. Not necessarily, hey, is my son going to be on varsity, and what about my younger son? He's coming in. Don't do that. Don't be that parent. Just go, hey, we're just trying to figure out what's going on, what the plans are for the coming year. We noticed that there was no summer program. You know, just trying to find out what's going on, just as concerned parents. And then the second thing I said was, are you sure that that other coach at the other school is interested in your kids? You know, I get the other players are saying, hey, come on over and see what's going on, but you don't know what happens when you get over there. And what about the players that aren't on that team that you may be coming over to take their spot? Are you going to be welcome over there? Now, it's not something you should 100% worry about, but it's something you should think about, because In my neighborhood, I'm going to tell you, these parents can be very vicious, very territorial. So you want to make sure if you go over that way that you're going to be welcome, and that there's a good opportunity for you to get a fair tryout and see what's going to happen. I have no doubt if they get a fair shot at it, that they'll do very well over there. And then the final thing again is your friends, all the people you went to junior high school with, all your neighborhood friends that you guys walk down the street to the school. Is that what you want to give up to go over here to play basketball? Now, I think the interesting thing is that, like I said, the older son he played varsity on volleyball. And so his mom, you know, we're having this conversation. His mom's like, yeah, but you know, you can get a full ride with volleyball. And I said, not for men's volleyball. And she goes, yeah, you get a full ride. I go, no, you don't. I go, for men, it's football and basketball, D1 level. That's it. You get a full ride. You're guaranteed a full ride. But for women, it's volleyball, tennis, golf, and gymnastics. What is it? Well, it's volleyball, basketball, tennis, and gymnastics. That's it. If you play D1 in those sports, you get a full ride. Everything else is equivalency. So that means you can get a partial scholarship. Now, you might get a full ride if you're that good, but I wouldn't count on that. And so she was actually surprised, because I think in the way the world is set up, you only know what you know until you don't, you know, until someone tells you. And it's nothing bad about that. That's just the way it goes. So anyway, so we had this long conversation about the pros and cons. And, you know, I said, you guys can decide what you want to do. But those are some of the things I just wanted to bring it up for you guys to think about if you're thinking about transferring to another school or moving to the, you know, the grass is green on the other side type situation. Because it may be true, the grass may be greener over there, and you go over there and you'll do very well. But make sure you know the reasons why you're doing it. Now, we always talk about this in Athletic SOS. I want us to be a step past what everyone else is doing. So one of the things that I mentioned earlier was that they discussed the fact that the coach didn't do anything. And so I said, how come you guys didn't do something? You're a sophomore. You know some of the kids from JV. You know some of the kids from varsity. Did you reach out to the varsity guys that are there now and say, hey, are you guys going to be working out? I'd like to come work out with you guys. And if they would have not taken you in, you know, for that reason, because you're overstepping your bounds as a sophomore, then you could have said, hey, for all the other people that I played with last year, hey, I'm going to go work out. I'm going to go to the park. I'm going to find some information out, and let's go do some working out, because they're already playing travel and club, so they're getting some training and stuff like that. But let's go do some workouts on our own. And then, like I said, you guys should start filming that stuff. Show your leadership abilities, and that might go a long way for you as the new school year come in. Go the extra mile. Go the extra step. So you're going to start doing that. I said, have you guys been working on your nutrition? And I know they have, because they're using our system. But I said, are you filming that stuff? Are you guys setting up your social media so that you can start getting some followers, and you can start helping some people that are coming behind you go through the same thing? This is a story you should be telling. You're thinking about this, and you don't have to post it right away until you've made your decision. And then afterwards, tell them why you made your decision. And these are other ways where you can guide some people that are coming behind you. I know you're young. I know these kids, they're 14, 15, 16 years old. I get it. But this is where you start to mature a little bit. And so that was something I was telling them, you know, why don't you guys look into that? I want you know, have the kid maybe stay put and go through their vetting process, why they decide to do what they did. And then I think the final piece of this for me is, what can you do for your community where you are right now that will help out what's going on in the community and build your social awareness and your community awareness? What can you guys do just for the general community? Now, it doesn't matter which high school you go to now, but I want to start putting that in their heads too. And then finally, where do you want to be when you're going to move to the next place? Who are you? I guess the best thing. Do you want to be the kid that saw an opportunity over here and you moved over there? Hey, no judgment on my part. Or you were smart enough to see it, that, hey, this over here where I am is not going to be good for me, because that is a situation a lot of times. And if I go over here, this will be good to me. 9 times out of 10, when you switch lines, you know, you've done it in a grocery store, you're driving down the street, you switch over to the other lane or the other aisle, and then you find out, hey, this was even slower because that one person in front of me decided to write a check, or the person in front of me is on their phone or putting their makeup, or they're shaving in the car. Whatever they're doing, they're not paying attention. And so now you've actually behind where you would have been had you stayed the steady road. It's not always that way, and I can't tell you what to do, but I think you need to decide if this is going to be, because what you're going to do now is going to set the tone for how you're doing later. And I think overall, if you've vetted it, you've gone through the pros and cons, you've looked at where can I be the most benefit to others, and going to there, it's going to work out for you regardless, if that's the kind of person you are. So anyway, so I just wanted to bring that up. Hey, and what I really want from you guys is, why don't you go down in the comments, tell me what have you been thinking about switching schools, or if you were in this situation, how would you handle it? What would you be looking for? What are your pros and cons for any of that stuff? I'm actually very interested in that. I don't know what they're going to do. I will come back to you guys once they've made a decision and I find out why they made that decision. But don't just stay where you are because it's the right thing to do and tough it out and all that. That's not necessarily what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is you got to read through the whole thing and figure it out past the surfacey piece. Oh, if I go over here, I'm going to get a chance to play. What's the whole piece of it, and where can you take advantage? If you do decide to stay where you are, what can you do now? Let's say that coach is just not interested in going the extra mile for everybody, and you come in and practice in August and we'll get you guys up to speed, and that's the way we're going to be for the next few years. That doesn't make sense either. You don't want to be in that kind of environment either. Or if you have to be in that kind of environment, what can you do to elevate you and your teammates moving forward so you can get to where you need to get to? And never forget, the bottom line is, if everything is horrible where you are and you want to stay there because of your friends, the atmosphere, the ambiance, all of that stuff that makes you happy to be where you are, the educational opportunity, then, and if that is the case and that's where you want to be, then you got to figure out, okay, what can I do outside of here? What kind of travel club program can I get to? What kind of extra training can I get into? Who else can I go work out with on that other side that, yeah, I can't play with those guys on the other side, but what do they do? Also, go make some friends over there too and figure your way around it, because that is going to be the difference maker for you for the rest of your life, not just for these few years that you're in high school and you're trying to get this athletic scholarship. Okay, guys, as always, down below, I give you a code, I give you instructions, and I have a video down there showing you how to sign up and what AthleticSOS is. I know I talk about it, but you haven't seen it, so I want you guys to have a good feel for it. It's absolutely no cost to you. Please use it. I built it for you guys. I want to get this into you guys' hands so that you can use this. And if you do anything else, you're already getting some offers. If you want to go with another online recruiting service, or you're going to pay a recruiter to help you out, that's fine. Use our software to find your options and then go to them with the schools that you've chosen that fit you. Then go to them and say, hey, I want to go to these schools. And so I found this information out over there. Didn't cost me anything. All right, guys. As always, best of luck. If you want to stay in the game, you want to keep playing, you want to move forward, we're here to help. And everything you need is down below. Talk to you guys later.